Hi, this is Jeanette from Happy Spots and Ink Spots. In this video I'm quickly going to show you how I color in faces and hair. I've still been getting a lot of requests, so I'm using a Whiff of Joy image. It's one of the guardian angels. And I'm going to start with her face first, so I'm using E00. And I'm adding this color, which is my lightest, just to the areas where I'm going to want to have my darkest shadow in the end. After that color, I'm going to be putting on E00, and I'm pretty well going to go back over what I already colored. Next is my darkest shade, which is E11. And I don't add a whole bunch of this, just a little bit. Sometimes I don't use the E11, it's quite dark. If I want a little bit of a lighter complexion, I will use E01 or E02 as my darkest color. So I'm going to go back over that now with my E00, and I'm just going to blend into that line to soften it up. And as you can see, I'm still leaving part of that area white. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and add my blush in, which is R20. I'll go back over that with my E00 just to make sure everything is blended. This is quite a small little space I'm working in, so I don't want to be putting a whole lot of ink in there, because then I run into bleeding problems. And the last color I'm going to use now to blend it all in is the E00, E000. Okay, so that's the face. Remember as well, your Copic markers will continue to work a little bit on your paper, and they will dry lighter than they appear when they're wet. So now I'm going to work on her hair. I'm going to be making her sort of dark blonde. I'm going to be starting with E50. And again, I'm putting my lightest color right on the areas that I think are going to have the most shadow. And I don't have to be super careful at this point. Now I have my YR31. I'm just going back over my E50. Trying to pay attention to where the hair overlaps and where there's little bends. Here there's a bit of a shadow because of her hairband. And then finally, my darkest shade is E33. And so I won't be adding a whole bunch of that. I'm going to be adding here where I would have the most shadow, in here, up over here, down this way, underneath her band here. If at any point you go out of the line like I did just here, all you need to do is just take your colorless blender and push the ink back in. And it'll just sort of push back into where it needs to be. So now I'm going to work in reverse. And now is the time where I'm really going to be paying attention to my blends. So I've got my YR31, and I'm going in and I'm blending all that dark. I don't want to see that line anymore, so I'm blending it. Again, I'm leaving an area that's white because that's where my lightest shade is going to end up going to create a really nice highlight. Now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead with my lightest color, which was my E50. And I will complete the blending process, working into the areas that are already colored. And completing my blend. Okay, so that's the hair and the face.